who can tell me I'm wrong for how I'm getting this paper? Life is hell when you ain't getting mail and ain't nobody gon' save us. So I can really give a damn if you think that I'm wrong or right. I'm hustle all day, I'm hustle all night. Hello and welcome to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach, y'all. Hey, you heard it. We got the hustler on tonight, y'all. It's Thursday night, 7:30. It's the key to another level, y'all. So I'm gonna bring him on right now so we have a great time. Come on in, Key. What's happening?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. So hey, you know how we start out the show, catching up with Key. So I need to catch up with you, man. Can you tell me? I know you guys went to Austin last weekend. Tell me how the tournament go.
The tournament went good. It didn't come out how we wanted it to. We lost in the championship by 1 point off the last second shot.
Whoa, you
Um,
took an L this time, huh?
yep.
Okay. So with me, that's your first loss, that I experienced, man. So tell me something, man. Did y'all learn anything from that
Uh,
experience?
I learned something, and as a team, I think you learned something. To never underestimate a team.
That's very good.
Hmm.
Okay. So how did you play? How did the games come out?
The games came out pretty good.
Uh, real quick, I know you was playing with your best friend, your partner that you had on the show last week, Isaiah.
Yeah.
How was that? That was a good time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we need to give a shout out to Isaiah. Give a shout out to him. Yay. What's up, Isaiah? It's from me. And Coach Kiso, I got to give a shout out to Fade and Fade Away, man. I really like your squad. You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, I finally got to meet the fellas, man. So I had a great time. So tell me something. What you got going for this weekend?
Today we play in a turn. Well, no, this weekend we play in a tournament called the We Got Game here in San Antonio. A little 2-day tournament.
Okay. Now, who you be playing with? Because I know last week you played with the fifth graders.
I think I'll be playing with the fourth graders this weekend.
Okay, the squad I met. Okay, I'll be looking forward to that then. Man, that's great, man. So I see you ready to get ready for this weekend, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it's great catching up with you. I'm gonna try to get to the gym and bring out the TAN TV camera, and you're doing a great job here on TAN TV Kids. Okay,
Yes, sir.
man. And then I hear, man, I'm excited today, man. You guys tell your producer he went and got a great special guest, man, today. And so we're going to take a station break. And then when we come back, I'm going to let you have it. It's going to be all yours. All right.
Yes,
And you
sir.
can tell us about that special guest. Let's bring him on. Okay. So, hey, y'all, if you tune in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach. Hey, you're watching The Key to Another Level with Keelan Hollowell on TAN TV Kids, y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And when we come back, all you're going to see is the face of Keelan doing his thing. Stay tuned.
This is Coach Abbott, head coach of Southwest Legacy, home of the Titans, and you are watching TAN TV.
Hey, y'all. It's your boy Key. Welcome to my show, The Key to Another Level. Today we have a special guest, a good friend of mine, and a former NFL player. Give it up for David Boston. Hey, Mr.
Hey,
David. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Keelan. How you doing, man? I appreciate the invitation, man, and the opportunity to come on your show and chop it up with you. Thanks for the invite.
Yes, sir. Welcome to my show, The Key to Another Level, and you're watching on TAN TV Kids. So, today I'm gonna ask you, what it was like in your journey to be a pro athlete, and some advice for the kids who want to be an athlete and make it that far.
Uh, some advice I would give to young kids, aspiring to be athletes and play, high school ball, college ball, and whatever sport they choose, is to always set goals. Number one, believe in yourself, and make sure that you take advantage of every single day. There's an opportunity to get better, and there's athletes training all over the world, and you're not just competing against everyone here in the United States. You're competing against everyone in the world, and you want to make sure that you take advantage of every opportunity there is to go out there and train and work hard and understand that everything is not going to go perfect for you. Learn to deal with failure and adversity and sports, and continue to develop and work hard for your goals. And if you can just hold on to that every day and take advantage of that, then that would be my advice to kids at a young age.
All right. So, where are you from, and what high school did you go to?
I'm from Houston, Texas, and I went to Humble High School. It's a high school that's right here in the outskirts of Houston. If you ever flew in the Intercontinental Airport in Houston, George Bush Airport, I live about 5 minutes from there.
All right. And what was your favorite part about that school?
Uh, I feel like my favorite part was the success of the previous athletic program that they've had and the teams that they had. The school that I went to had a lot of players and a lot of sports that were successful, and so I always felt proud to be a part as the number Wildcat. And I think there were maybe 10 or 12 NFL guys in the last 10 years that have been there, maybe a little bit more. And I just wanted to carry on in the footsteps of the kids that I was watching playing when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, when I would go to games with my older brother and everything. And I was just proud to continue the legacy there at my high school.
All right. And was football like your only sport? Or did you play sports like other sports growing up?
No, I played basketball and I played baseball. Up until the 10th grade, I stopped playing baseball, but I ran track. I would say when I was your age, 10 years old, I was primary a basketball player in track. But my dad put me in football when I was five, tackle football, and I think I played from 5 years old and I retired at 30. So I was playing 25 straight years football, but I played multiple sports growing up. Back then, it wasn't so much year-round basketball, year-round baseball or football. You kind of just move sport to sport. So I played 3 or 4 months out of the year one sport, and then another sport would come up. I wouldn't play that other sport for 3 or 4 months, and kind of just didn't do one thing year-round, and I kind of just moved on. But I played basketball, baseball, football, track.
All right. And while being recruited from Ohio State, was that like your only school? Like, did you want to go to another one?
Uh, yeah, I took 5 visits when I decided to when I was getting recruited for football. I went to Florida Gators. I went to University of Texas Longhorns, Ohio State, Michigan, and then I took one more visit. I'm trying to think. Let's see, Florida State, Florida, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan. There you go. So I took those 5 visits. It came down to a close call, but my mom's brother, Lovey Smith, family member, he was coaching at the time at Ohio State, and he coached in the NFL a long time and in college, and he there was a little closeness there to go up to Ohio State just from comfortability and just making sure I had somebody to look out for me. So I ended up coming all the way from Houston, going all the way up to Ohio in the cold, snowy weather, and just taking a chance on that team and being around a family member that was really, really I could trust. So.
And by any chance, do you remember like what the two schools came down to? Like, what were the two schools?
Uh, it came down to Ohio State and the University of Texas Longhorns.
All
Yeah, and
right.
it,
Okay.
yeah.
And what was it like playing at Ohio State?
Ohio State. Believe it or not, the 3 years that I was there, I ended up leaving early. I didn't play my senior year, but it was a time where I can remember where I was just out there having fun, playing football, something I love to do. The college experience was nice. The campus was nice. Had a great time there, but once I started playing football in the NFL, it became more of, a little more business-like, a little bit more where a lot of the fun was kind of wiped out. So I really enjoyed my 3 years of college where I could just lay loose and have fun and don't really worry about all the extra noise. And so I had a great time at Ohio State. They treated me well. Campus was nice. My coaching staff was nice, and players, everybody, it was a great experience. So.
All right. And did the large crowds, like the big stadium and all the fans, did they make you nervous when you played?
Uh, I got nervous a little bit in the Rose Bowl, which was at the end of the year, but I kind of got adjusted to the Ohio State after the first game or two. But it was definitely a shock playing in front of a couple thousand people to 105,000 fans. So it was loud, but I think I adjusted after the first few games. But nervous, nervous was one of the things that, fortunately, growing up, I was able to handle the nerves a little bit, and always wanted to you know, trust myself and rely on the hard work. That's one of the questions you asked me earlier, is advice to young kids is hard work always wins in the end. Yeah, it always wins. And so as you continue to work harder and harder throughout the weeks and months and years, it erases the nerves because you trust yourself and your hard work. And so, although it was loud, it took me a few games, but I kind of adjusted to it.
Okay. And did you expect like that much people to be there and how loud it was, or you were expecting a little less?
Uh, I knew how many people were there just based on, because I took a visit while I was still in high school. So I took a visit, and I kind of got a sense of the campus and how it was and everything. But I did not expect it to be as loud as it was. You can really not even hear anything that's going on. The quarterback saying "hut" or anything. I mean, it's so loud. So.
Okay. Okay. And what was one of your best memories playing for Ohio State?
One of my best memories. All the wins with my teammates, just celebrating the bowl wins and all that stuff. Probably winning the Rose Bowl in 1997, which was my freshman year. We played Arizona State down in California at the Rose Bowl, and so winning that game was my most memorable experience.
Okay. And what was the NFL draft night like? And how did it feel to know all the hard work that you did paid off?
It was one of the best days that I've had in my life. Outside of my kids being born and my three kids being born and getting married, I'd say that's probably right up there with a special day that I'll always remember. I actually was in California uh, during the draft, and I didn't go to New York. I decided to not go there and stay with my family, and we went to my agent's house in California. And just when I got the phone call from the Cardinals and the general manager, it was one of those reflection moments where you know that all the hard work that you had put in for years and years, and to see it come to light and see to be rewarded for that was a day that I always remember. And so I was grateful for that opportunity, and like I said, it meant a lot to me and my family. And it's one of those things, as you continue to work as an athlete, you're just developing right now. At your age, you're developing, you're learning how to be a professional, you're learning how to work hard, you're understanding failure, you're gonna have good games and bad games, and understanding how to, carry yourself through good and bad times and all that. But as you work hard every day, that's gonna be one of the days that, outside of your scholarships and all that kind of stuff that comes, it's a rewarding day to know that the hard work paid off. So.
All right. Now, looking back, let's talk about some of the things that could help a young athlete. Um,
Okay.
what is your opinion on weightlifting at an age like us?
I would say it's probably I mean, you can probably do some very light weights. I mean, light dumbbells and some light squats with some things, little dumbbells and that kind of stuff, but more body weight stuff. I think at this age, I think making sure that you allow your growth plates and tendons and everything to kind of develop and strengthen, and not put any kind of pressure on that to make sure you get the full amount of growth as a kid. I think you can get away with body weight stuff and maybe some bands and some light dumbbells and things like that. Work on agility and plyometrics and that kind of stuff, as opposed to trying to jump into weights too early. And so I think maybe sixth, seventh grade is probably when that's the time to kind of start doing heavier weights. But I don't mind a little light weights, very light, high reps, just to get the muscle going and all that kind of stuff. But it's not going to matter whether you did it in fifth or seventh, because you can't really do too much. And if you do too much, it's going to compromise your growth and your tendons and all that stuff. And you don't want to get sore knees in middle school and all that stuff. You just want to make sure you develop as a kid and allow the process to happen.
All right. And how important is your diet?
I would say, I mean, there's a pie, right? There's a puzzle to the formula to be successful as far as an athlete. I think part of that puzzle, I would say the diet is 40%, 50%, 60% if somebody wanted to debate, but it's training is important. Your skill training is important, your weights are important, but the diet is right up there, as important as those other two items. And I think that's what fuels your body. And all the great athletes, you look at LeBron James and several, you got a lot of examples out there. The people who take care of their body spend a lot of money on dieting and exercising and all that kind of stuff. And so if you want to play a long time and be healthy and deal with the wear and tear of sports, you're going to want to make sure you're putting great stuff into your body that will allow you to be able to play at a high level. So,
All right. And what like foods, like what foods do you suggest to eat like as a kid? Like high
um,
protein or what?
I would say definitely if there's ways, sometimes kids are a little pickier eaters than adults, but if you can try to find ways to get protein in by like chicken or nuggets or milk, protein shakes and stuff like that, I suggest that you try to get as much protein as you can between the ages of like 8 to 13, 14, in that range, because those are the real crucial development years where your body is growing the most and it's going through the stages of change where you're going to end up going through puberty. You're going to get, there's a lot of development going on there, and protein is one of the things that allows a kid to maximize their muscle mass and growth and how big they are, when they get older. So I would say if you like eggs and bacon, sausage in the morning, fruits, strawberries, berries, that kind of stuff for breakfast, oatmeal, and then for lunch, just trying to eat as healthy as possible. It's going to be really hard as a kid. So if you can try to eat better during the week, and then maybe on the weekends have some cheat days going on. But you know, like I said, it's hard at your age at 10. But like I said, especially if you're traveling and you're going through airports and you're flying here and you're at games and there's only concession stands and this, and that, and the other. But I would just always keep in the back of your mind that you're gonna have to. Part of being a great athlete is having a great diet, and you just have to sacrifice and make choices that are going to allow you to fuel your body to be competitive. So.
All right. And do you think focusing on one sport has started too young?
That's a good question, because I think there's some value, I would say, to being a year-round one sport athlete, because if you try to go sport to sport to sport to sport, kind of back in the old days, you can end up being pretty good at three or four different things, as opposed to focusing on one thing and being really, really good at that one thing. But I think there's sports that have benefits to, like if you run track, right, and you also play basketball, that's going to help you with your speed and help you with your cardio and help you get faster and all that kind of stuff. If you play basketball, that could help you with baseball, where you work on agility all the time in basketball, so you can play infield a little more. You're a little more agile and that kind of stuff. But I think if you're going to pair sports, it's probably going to be hard to keep up with the year-round basketball players and keep up with the year-round baseball players or the year-round track athletes and stuff like that. It's going to be really hard to keep up with the top level of those if you decide to do it. But I think there's value to mixing sports. It allows kids to take a break from a sport and get their mind off of it and kind of take 2 or 3 months to focus on something else and develop. And so I just happen to be a little more old school, where I believe in multi sports. It helps with a lot of different things in life, and it also helps you have the movements and coordination and different things that might show up in another sport. So
Okay. And in your opinion, has social media helped or hurt young athletes from recruiting to building up your brand or name?
I would say, I mean, just from my experience, I mean, I think that it's I have a 17-year-old who is glued to his phone, and I'm on him all the time about all that. So I have a little bit of sensitivity to social media. I think it's probably done more harm. Uh, it's done more damage because when I was younger, I was outside playing in the streets, playing basketball, running, racing people around the neighborhood, doing different things, and he's sitting here glued to the phone 3, 4, 5 hours, and I think you miss an element of what it's like to be a kid and what it's like to be compete and be in sports and do different things that I feel like are missing a little bit. It's a different era. I get it, uh, but so I am not the biggest fan of social media. As you know, my youngest one, Braden, he doesn't have that PlayStation and phone. I give him an iPad to use here and there, but it's monitored. Where I don't want him his attention focused on that. I want him to be a kid, get outside, and come home when the street lights are on and play around. And not be sitting there glued to the phone all day every day. So.
Okay. And in youth sports, what are kids not working on enough at?
In youth sports, uh, my thing that I would say that people are not working enough on, I would say there's two pieces. One piece is focusing on going full speed and training hard while you're in training and giving your maximum effort during training, and that's focusing on more skills training and not just playing games all the time and all that stuff. Working on skills and training and going full speed, making an effort to go full speed while you're going through your training. That would be one thing. And then as a young athlete, I think there's another piece where I don't think I would like to see, especially in some of the youth sports, baseball, football, basketball, to more of an emphasis and a focus on the kids and athletes going through the failures and learning how to deal with when things don't go your way. What type of attitude do you have? Are you still running full speed if somebody else turns it over on the court and try to run down there and block it, or you make a mistake, you got bad body language, and making an emphasis on all the smaller things that I think make a great athlete. And it's not just performance. It's going to be what kind of character do you have, and how do you respond when things don't go your way after a couple bad games, shots didn't fall that game. Do you have it within yourself to focus on making sure that you believe in yourself and you understand that you can handle failure and bounce back after that?
Okay. And going through the recruiting and draft experience, any advice for parents or young athletes?
Yeah, I would say going through the recruiting piece, I have several athletes that I've trained over the last few years, going into high school and going through the recruiting process along with myself and everything. I would say, AAU basketball, a lot of the recruiting is done on the AAU teams, not in high school basketball, and same with baseball. They're not really going to the high school baseball games to recruit you. They're really doing it in select baseball and all that stuff. And I think it's 50% performance, right? 50% of your performance is going to be as far as the scout's going to come watch you. They're looking at your performance. They probably already know that you got handles, or you can shoot, or you can get to the goal, or you create others for others, or you're a really good rebounder, or whatever they're really coming to watch you for. They probably already know that, right? And so when they show up, a lot of times you're not even going to know that they're there. They might be in the stands with their clipboard, and they may be watching how you interact with your teammates. If you're in a blowout game and you come out in the first half and you don't play the second half, are you actively involved, cheering your teammates on? Do you have bad body language whenever things don't go your way? They may watch how you interact with your parents, how you warm up before the game. And so they really get a good full scope of who you are while you're going through the recruiting process. And it's very important to make sure that you take the warm up seriously, you be a good teammate, and you make sure while you're at a young age to develop the importance levels of those things, because you can score 20 points, but there's a bunch of people that can score 20 points. But if you got a bad attitude and you're flailing your arms up when something bad happens, or you're not hustling back when something bad happens up there, or you get subbed out, you're walking over to the bench, or they're going to find people that understand sports, and they're going to make sure that they get the performance piece, and then they're going to get someone that fits the type of person that they're looking for to offer them a couple $100,000 scholarship to play for the university, and to make sure that they believe, and they can see who that person is. So my advice would be to make sure take care of your performance, but also don't forget about all the other things, the intangibles that matter as far as being a recruitable athlete.
Okay, and being a parent of a young athlete that plays at a high level, what are your favorite parts and least favorite parts?
My favorite part is I would say I enjoy the process of going to the gym, getting up early, whatever hard work needs to be done, taking him there, dropping him off, making sure that he's surrounded by the right trainers, and just the grind, the process of earning whatever results you get. You're going to earn everything you're going to do, and so I enjoy uh, the process of all that. And then uh, obviously when there's a big baseball tournament or basketball tournament that he wins, and if he plays well, the team plays well, and all that, there's definitely a good feeling to see the hard work pay off. But at the same time, my least favorite part would be, I know as an adult how to handle everything and what needs to happen. But when as a young athlete, when you're 9, 10, 11 years old, it's you got to allow them to fail and be coached by other coaches, and you got to let him go through the failure and figure everything out, the good and the bad, what comes with sports. Learn how to be coached, and not be dependent on me to motivate him, not be dependent on me to try to interfere with anything. I just got, the hard part is allowing all that to happen, and then when he's going through the learning process and failure, when I know he's upset and disappointed how he plays and all that stuff, watching him go through all that is probably my least favorite part. But I know it's going to make him better at the end, because he has to go through the ups and downs of sports and learn how to deal with it, and get confidence in himself and figure it out on his own. And so that's my least favorite part.
So I heard you talk about like how the parents like should allow their kids to accept failure and be coached by a different coach. But like, if a coach asks you, can your son play on their team? Well, are you gonna say yes immediately, or are you like, what are you gonna do?
If a coach asks for my son to play on another team, or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if it's a new coach or somebody that I don't know, I mean, it's probably going to take a little bit for the trust to get there. It's like you with Coach Kiso, right? You know how he coaches. He coaches the right way. He's a great example of how to lead a group of young men and his program, to be successful. But that you trust him and all that. So if it's a new coach, it might take a little bit of time for me feel comfortable allowing him to guide and influence and be that way with my kid. But I know I have to do it at some point. I would just be careful who I'm putting him with and making sure I get a better feel for him before I sign him up with that team or whatever.
Okay, and are there like any questions you would like to ask me or like to share?
Yeah, I got a couple questions. So has basketball always come very easy, like easily for you, effortless for you, and or do you feel like you're a kid that worked hard for everything, or do you think the game comes just naturally easy to you? I've always wanted to know that.
Um, it really just came natural to me. Um,
That's good.
I really found out like that I was just really talented at it, and it just took off.
That's good. I can tell when you're out there, all the highlight videos and watching you play in person, it seems that you're always in chill mode, and it's always like nothing really phases you. You're always real smooth and effortless, everything you're doing. And so I always wanted to know that. But another question I have is, I guess with all like playing youth basketball, AAU basketball, what are some of your favorite moments that you've had, in the last like year or two, as far as team tournament wins or I guess different uh, tournaments that you've won or special moments for you? I want to know what some of your favorite moments.
One of my favorite moments was probably when we went up to Cincinnati, Ohio, with the BNU squad, and we beat D5 Bullies, and that was their first loss in 3 years. That was
Oh,
probably one
yeah.
of mine. And when we went on
Okay,
the what's it called, the party bus, that was fun.
okay, to that high school game. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yep. I remember both of those things, both of those events, man. Those were good times. And so, yeah, man, I keep up the good work, Key. You work hard for everything you get. It's good to see all your hard work pay off and be, one of the top five ranked kids across the country. Like, don't forget where you come from. Be thankful for everything, and continue to grind, man. The future is bright for you. There's no limits to what you can do, man, and just don't take advantage of every day, every opportunity that you have to go train and get better. And I definitely appreciate you inviting me on here to talk to you for a little bit, man. It means a lot to me.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you for coming on to my show, The Key to Another Level, and just everything you've done. Like taking me to the games whenever I needed a ride and when my parents needed to do something, and just all that. And I really like how this interview went with me and you. And yeah.
You're welcome, man. Anytime. I'd love to come back sometime down the road in the future. Keep up the hard work, man, and good luck with everything.
All right.
Key, that was a great interview, man. Is David gone? Is he? No, no.
No,
Yeah, come on back, Dave. Hey, this we're gonna conclude it, man. Hey,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I normally come in and ask the question, but not tonight. You and Keelan, you and Keelan, y'all covered it all, man. And this was a fantastic interview, man. I really appreciate you coming on TAN TV and blessing us, man. You dropped some nuggets. Hey, Key, uh, hey, it's live. We all
Hey,
good,
that's
man.
Yeah.
that's
It's
live
all
TV
good.
right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Matt. Before we go, you got to do your thing. Give our TAN TV audience that peek. Go ahead, man. Just stick that head through real quick. One time before. There it is, man. Hey, Dave. That's what we got. That's his
Yeah.
signature right there, man. He come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to peek in every now and then. Hey, David, I just want you to say thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. I hope the parents, this was more for the parents and my, because I listened intently, man.
Come
That
on.
was some great knowledge, man. I really appreciate everything, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime. I appreciate the opportunity to share, my experiences and everything that I've gone through. And, I'm thankful. Anytime you want to chop it up down the road here, just let me know, man, and everything. But thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate it. That was great.
And I just want to say, man, I surely appreciate those nuggets, man. You dropped 24 karat nuggets on people tonight, David. Now I really appreciate it. But I do got one question. I'm gonna ask you this.
Sure.
How did the University of Texas let you get away, man? Now,
I think it was family. I think the fact that my, Levy Smith was the defensive back coach. He was the coach at Illinois. I think he was at the Texans for a while. Houston Texans NFL team head coach there. He was the coach at the Rams, defensive coordinator. He happened to be, when I was coming out of high school, he just happened to be the defensive back coach at Ohio State. And we're both from East Texas, Gladewater. My mom and my whole family's from Gladewater, Texas, and that's where he grew up and everything. And he was working there at the time as a DB coach, and I just felt comfortable to go from here all the way up to the snow up there and and play up there. So it worked out. I just trusted it. So
nice. Okay, man. Well, hey, Key, you want to give a shout out or tell folks on your social media and to tune in next week? Because hey, man, you had 2 great interviews, man. I mean, this has been off the chain. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for everyone who watched my interview, and I hope y'all liked it. And I hope to see y'all next Thursday at 7:30 on TAAN TV Kids. And that's it.
David, you want to say anything before we dash?
No, I appreciate the invite, man. I think he did a great job, man, and just it's always interesting to hear a kid's perspective, man. I think he's on the right track as far as how he's approaching everything, and very humble. Comes from a great family. Coach Kiso does a great job with everything going down on there with his organization, and he's in the right hands as far as all that, man. So we're thankful any opportunity we get to be able to have play with Keelan and be a part of everything that's going on in youth basketball. And anytime there's anything down the road, you want to chop it up again, just give me a shout, man. I'm available. So.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Keelan, man, you did a fantastic job again. And hey, David, I'm gonna leave y'all with my favorite clips of my main man. And Keelan, we'll see you next Thursday. This is me, David. I love this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I keep telling you, bro, these kids nowadays, they eating a different type of Frosted Flakes. I told y'all this before. I didn't eat that cereal because I wasn't doing this at his age. I was watching Bob the Builder, Little Bill. I was not getting to the lane, big body, and laying it up calmly. I didn't do it. I didn't lay it gently like this. Look at this. Get in the lane and one. Ref called a foul. Look at buddy, get by you. It's easy for me. Let me lay it up gently. That boy chewing gum like this is nothing. Look at him. Get back on defense. Do what I tell you. That boy out here carving these dudes up like Halloween pumpkin. Sir, relax. Buddy out here looking like a baby Matt Barnes. You saw what I did to Derek Fisher. What you think I'm gonna do to you? Nah, boy. Tell me that man don't look like Matt Barnes with a Stephen Curry game. This don't make no sense. Yo, he been chewing gum the whole video, bro. Imagine getting 40 from somebody blowing and popping bubbles. Come on, man. I can't let you do this to me. Look at this. Get in the lane, stupid. Chew my gum. Float gently. Float me high. Look at this. This man is a problem. He don't even look like he drink Gatorade when he tired. He just pop a Hubbalicious gum in his mouth and he good to go again. Look at this. Get in the lane. Stop it. You're not guarding me. Float gently off the backboard. Dom up teammates. Make sure you knock it down or you off the team. As soon as he walk in the gym, it's like a 10 on 5. He 5 people by him damn self. Float gently. That boy